Hey y'all, I'm Liz,
I'm Colleen.
and this is Mystic Midlife, and we are back to continue our conversation about relationships, but a little bit different. It's going to be more focused on connection within female friendship dynamics,
Yeah.
but connection overall and the importance of it, and uh, really kind of breaking down, I guess.
Yeah, we promised you guys we'd move out of the dating area because
Give it a rest for a little bit.
really at some point we need to not focus on that. We need to focus on ourselves some more. Yes. And our girlfriends and that kind of thing. So because I think it's just as if not more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
To have female connection.
Yeah.
And good relationships there.
Healthy versus toxic still, because there is that whole thought process of relationships are either a season, a reason, or a lifetime, no matter what it is, romantic or otherwise. And sometimes our friendships, they ebb and flow. Sometimes the friendships that are for a lifetime also have to ebb and flow.
Yes.
And because life.
Yeah.
And like some of my best friends are across the country, and they're pretty much they're my sisters. They're my chosen sisters. And those relationships have ebbed and flowed,
and they're not going to stay the same.
But like I was richer and deeper.
Yeah, I just was saying to her, there's some where I truly, and maybe this is due to old age, I can't remember half the time why certain friendships kind of just faded away. And sometimes you'll return to those and everything will be great. But everybody has their own lives. They're changing. We do not stay the same throughout our life cycle.
Hopefully
there's
not.
No way. God, I hope not. Yeah. We may have caused issues in friendships before and not seen it from that perspective. Then years later turned around and been like, oh, okay, that's why that particular friendship failed. But half the time I can't really remember why things failed. And sometimes they're not just meant to last your entire lifetime.
No. Sometimes it's just
there's some good ones that they do.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes there's that again, the whole like karmic dynamic of like this person was meant to come into my life for a particular time frame and maybe help me see something about myself, or me help see something about themselves, or for us to get through a particular difficulty or whatever it is. And then once that whole situation has been gone through and you've seen that process through, then it's just a natural evolution of that relationship where it kind of just disappears or goes away.
Maybe you don't have the same things in common that you used to have too.
Also that. And that's that whole, like, as we're evolving and we're changing and we're, looking to be the best version of ourselves for those who are on that journey of life. Sometimes you just kind of vibrate out of people's reality because you're no longer the same.
You're not running in the same circles.
No. And like your views are different, or just your desires are different and things like that. But it doesn't mean that friendship was not wildly important for the time.
Yeah. And isn't still a valid friendship.
Yeah.
That's something that I was just talking with my daughter about. Because, I think there was some level of worry about when she had kids. She has a lot of friends, as you know, in your guys' age group that are just like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I want to make sure I really keep in good, close communication and contact with my friends because they're so incredibly important to me. Yeah. And I was like, you're going to have to make some effort.
Yeah.
Because once you have a little kid, that tendency is to put all your focus
on your
which
children.
Is great.
Yeah.
It's great. But if you really want to maintain those relationships with women that have chosen another path that you've known for all your life, you're going to have to put extra effort into making sure you connect with them.
I think that works both ways.
Because they're going to have to too.
Yeah. And as the friend who doesn't have kids, and a lot of my, like, 3 of my best girlfriends have children.
Yeah.
And I know, and they have partners, and they also have careers and other things that they have to be responsible for. And I do know on my end, like, I would consider my business like my child in some ways, where I have to tend to it more than if it were I was working for someone else.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing of where, like, I have to know that this is where they're at. in their life, and I don't take it personally if they don't have time.
Full on acceptance.
Full acceptance.
And communication.
But I also think it's great that because I can.
In both directions.
Yeah. And I think because like I can be the one who can listen.
Mm-hmm.
And because I do, even so, sometimes I get annoyed. Not with them, but with certain situations they have to deal with, I'm annoyed on their behalf.
Yes.
I still am like, I want to support you and however you want me to support you. And I can be there from that standpoint and maybe listen a bit more because I don't have those same stressors.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to have the auntie for the kids that doesn't
but I think it's important to like everybody, we have the tendency as we get older to not older, as we age into the 20s and 30s to think that everybody wants the same life path that we do.
Yeah.
And so
sometimes we thought we did.
Yeah. Sometimes you hit your late 40s and go like, oh my gosh, what I want to do some other stuff. But I really do really want people to think about what they say before it comes out of their mouths. Don't get me wrong, I'm not great at this, but like really understanding that if that's what your best friend wants and their life's going good in either direction, be it kids, no kids, be it relationship, no relationship, be it living in this place instead of this place, just be understanding and supportive. And don't say things like one of my very best friends, she knew from when we were very young, she did not want children ever. And people would make stupid comments like, oh, well, you're going to regret that later.
And she has never.
And she has never. She just traveled all over Europe. That works great for her. She gets up at like 3:30 or 4 in the morning and goes to the gym. Good luck doing that.
No, thank you.
Good luck traveling all over, doing the things you want to do. And I do remember her at one point going, do you think I'm going to regret it? And I'm like, no, with your lifestyle, no, I don't think you will.
Yeah.
And I had 2 kids at that time. Everybody makes their own choices and it's based on what they want to do and what their future looks like in their eyes. And so be very careful and thoughtful before you have these conversations with friends.
Yeah. Also
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less judging, more understanding.
Yeah.
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 But also be brutally honest in other things.
Well, and
that's why I think my longest friendships have existed, because when we're annoyed with each other or something's wrong, we're like, can you stop that immediately?
Yes. And I've had to learn that.
Everybody learns.
Yeah. I've had to learn that with my best girlfriends because as a recovering people pleaser, I would shut my mouth because it was not worth it to me to lose the friendship over an annoyance that I had.
Yeah.
Until it got to the point of where I finally had to say something, and then they were like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Where was this? Why didn't you tell me in the moment?
Yeah,
I'll use
the same best friend as an example. When we were traveling in the UK, we'd been shut in together for weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm chatty Cathy, and she is your ultimate Virgo. She is quiet. She likes to be alone most of the time. She's the hermit. And at one point, I remember I was just la, 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 talking while we were in the hotel room. And she looked at me at one point and she goes, do you ever shut up? And I immediately started laughing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give you some time to yourself now. I'll go outside and do something. And she was like, good. So you've got to have that ability to communicate with your besties.
Yeah.
And maybe with your
person,
significant others, like we were just talking about before, though we may have gone off on some tangents on that one. Big surprise.
Yeah. We love a tangent.
Yes. But no, it's very, very important to be able to say those things to a friend.
1000%.
Yeah.
And I think
we're going to get annoyed with each other. No, not everybody's going to have a perfect relationship.
No, but do you want one?
Mm-mm.
Do we really want a relationship that's absolutely perfect, where there's never any sort of friction? Because without the friction, there can't be growth. And I'm not saying toxicity. We're not talking toxicity. But as far as those like growing pain moments to where you both can evolve within the connection more deeply.
Yeah.
Maybe learn something about yourself. Like I've been doing a lot of reflecting, either by things being brought up to me that I was not aware of and had not like taken into account.
I've had some girlfriends bring stuff up to me too.
Yeah. And like
they'll help you see your flaws in a lot more calm, believe it or not, logical way.
Yes.
than if some man that you've dated is telling you, but you do this wrong and you do that wrong.
Yeah.
Immediately goes into just irrationality.
Yeah.
But when your girlfriends talk to you about stuff, it's really different from a calming perspective.
It's literally,
if it's not toxic.
Yeah. It's like lighting
or jealousy.
It's like lighting a candle in a dark room to read something.
Yeah.
It's a gentle, like, hey, I saw this, or this, you acted in this particular way that was like out of alignment of who I think that you are. And you're just like, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of fucked up.
Yeah. And I don't think I got that a lot when I was younger.
No, I
So
think that's
now
an
that I
evolution.
get, as I get older, I really appreciate that a lot more.
Big time. And then even just like for me, like I know 100%. I know there for sure there were 2 times in my life where I've held mean girl energy, and I try my damnedest to never be that way.
Mm-hmm.
One was I was young and just it was not a healthy dynamic of me being possessive about a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got to apologize to that girl. But the other was within the last handful of years, and it was influenced by other mean girls that I was spending too much time with. And it had poisoned me, but I still was the one. I acted in a way that was outside of who I truly want to be and who I truly am. I did get to apologize to that woman, and I'm thankful that I got to have that conversation with her. But it's, I've
reached out to a few friends recently and just been like, hey, sorry about some of the weird stuff that went down.
Yeah.
I really apologize for this or that. Just got into touch with that one high school girlfriend that and I didn't quite, when I was just talking to her for briefly online, I didn't quite remember why we had faded apart. And then I started looking back and going, oh, well, that probably was my fault. I probably was doing some weird stuff and had moved out of state and that kind of stuff. That was probably my ball dropping completely 100%.
Yeah.
And that's okay to take responsibility for it and ownership of it. So in romantic and in platonic friendships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, it goes along with the same thing of like getting sick of your own bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
being able to see where like maybe we've not been in alignment with our true selves or who we want to be, or we're repeating a dynamic that we learned or we've been stuck in or anything like that. Yep. And it's important too, like, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately as far as like, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Whether it's including a romantic partner, not a romantic partner, or just your friends or your coworkers.
Sometimes coworkers.
Yeah. And it really is so important to surround yourself with people who are, and it's not just like girlfriendships, but it's like
healthy communication. For whatever, like if they're a coworker, healthy communication there. Yes. Best friend, healthy communication there.
Yes.
Spouse or partner, healthy communication there.
Yeah. And making sure that
healthy communication with your parents or your children.
And yourself.
Yeah. And yourself. It all has to be there.
It all has to be there.
And there's no way to be perfect about it.
No. But we're all like trying to figure it out. And it's so important to the people that you surround yourself with are also on the same trajectory that you are. Even if you're not exactly at the same level, at least it being people who really are wanting to be supportive of where you're going.
Yeah, but you'll be supportive at different times.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when I've been at my lowest low, I've had a few friends that have really been there.
Yeah.
And they seem to have all their shit together and everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And they're helping me out. And then years later,
it flips.
When I'm feeling good, it flips.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's a very strong look at your character on how supportive you are to them. Like, was I just friends when it was convenient for me, or do I now return the favor and be supportive?
Yeah.
So,
and then if there's friendships that are not reciprocal and are not,
they can be just as codependent as romantic relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's like, am I giving too much in this and not getting anything in return? And is that just because it's a season? Like you were just saying, or is that the dynamic?
Yeah.
And I think that that's where we have to get really clear and really honest about the situations.
Oh, yeah.
As far as figuring out, like, again, yeah, is this a season? And this is my turn to step up? Or is this just how it's continually going to be?
Yeah. And we probably need to, there is some level of codependency when making new friendships, even with other females.
Yeah.
In that you share too much sometimes.
But
I do that.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to. We're like so excited to meet this new person, and we're just like,
yeah,
like everything just gets thrown out on the table as far as
this is who I am.
This is who I am.
This is what I've been through. And then you trauma bond.
Yeah. And then you trauma bond. And then it is kind of a toxic, not so great relationship. I'm not saying that you shouldn't share those things with your friends throughout the course of a friendship. Yeah. But sometimes I think we move with a speed that is amazing. What's funny is I've actually heard from quite a few of my lesbian girlfriends that their romantic relationships with other women always seem to move like at breakneck speed. There's always the joke about second date moving together. Second dates in U-Haul. They'd probably be like, "Shut up right now" if they're hearing this. But like, it's just.
I've literally heard that from every one of my friends.
So I do think to some extent, maybe it's a female thing, that we move relatively fast on being genuine and sharing a lot about ourselves. And so then from a romantic or a platonic perspective with another female, sometimes things can go
real fast.
Real fast. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't have said all that stuff.
Yeah. If it's a healthy connection.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the friendships that I've had where I've done that it was like I feel like shared.
Yeah, you're not special position though.
And that's true. People are very
anybody that does like cosmetology, aesthetics, and a lot of medical stuff. We have the tendency to overshare. It's like I'll get really gross for you guys. I won't get too descriptive, but I swear to God, every time I've worked with a bunch of other nurses, especially like when it was like a night shift situation at a hospital, everybody for some reason has to share with each other. Like sometimes they got really sick and had an accident, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like a way of bringing us all down to the same level.
We're all human.
And talking about, just talking about like weird stuff, weird off the wall stuff that a lot of other people would judge you for. And also because in the nursing fields, EMS, military, police, a lot of times you see really gross, weird, traumatic things. And so everybody trauma shares as a way of blowing off steam and not hopefully going home and dumping all that at somebody who's not in the same vocation's feet.
Yeah.
So be that friends, family, or a spouse. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think like,
gotta be, you do gotta be a little bit more like meter it out.
Yeah.
And I'm the worst with this. So I know.
Yeah.
I'll just like tell everybody everything.
Well, because
and then I'll be like, wow.
But I wonder, okay, so some people say that's like a neurodivergent thing. But
let's not talk about what I think I have. Because I've self-diagnosed my stuff with many things. I am a very socially awkward person. You guys are aware of this.
But it seemed normal to me.
Yeah.
So, and I think that everyone's brain is a little bit spicy in some way.
Yeah.
But
it's evolution.
Right? Mm-hmm. Hopefully. But I also think that like, I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't think it's just me, but it's like, this is what you see is what you get. Like, you can't tell me anything about me that I have not already told about myself. Like, this is like, let me just put my cards on the table.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to do this in relationships too. Like, this is me. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. Are you in? Are you out? Like, and I feel that way with some friendships of like, what you see is what you get. I'm not fake fronting.
Yeah.
Like,
you need to see some really good pictures of me from when I was like 6 or 7 years old with my hair all like, and
like, this is clean.
Doing crazy stuff, like dressed up like a little boy to hang out with all the other boys in the neighborhood because I was a total tomboy.
Love that.
But just you gotta know that, for instance, like I've talked to you about how many people had no idea what a nerd I was in high school. Like I dressed the part of just one of the normal girls at school.
Yeah.
But then I go sit over next to the guys in the corner that were reading the Dune series, or Isaac Asimov, or Frank Herbert, or Arthur C. Clarke, that kind of stuff. And I was watching all the movies and the TV shows, and I was so into sci-fi and so into science. And then I tried to act normal around everybody else, because I didn't want to get the whole nerd thing.
Yeah.
You can't escape it. You can't escape your real self.
No.
You can't escape your real self.
No, but also you can still dress a certain part and be a certain way outwardly and then also be this on the other side.
Thankfully, I was friendly with just about every group in school.
I was going to say, I could see you being that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just hang with everyone.
Yeah, I didn't care who I was hanging with.
No. But I think that's the other fun part. Like I
That's being a military kid though too.
Oh yeah, you've had to adapt.
If you've had to move a lot.
Yeah.
You make friends with everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Which is also just smart.
Yeah.
But I was talking to a friend the other day and he was like, you're like weird. Like you're this part of your personality and this part of your personality and this part of your personality, they're all wildly different. I'm like, I don't want to be put in a box.
No.
But that's why I'm like, these are all the things that I'm into. And they all may technically, like, if you look at them individually, just as like separate groups, they don't coexist. But why can't they?
I don't know. There's something thrilling and exciting though about people not really knowing who you are.
Oh yeah.
And like thinking one thing when they look at you as a person and then completely throwing them for a loop when they actually start talking to you.
Yes. Yeah, because I've gotten a lot of like, oh, you look like a sorority girl. No. Mm-mm. No. No.
Like, no.
Mm-mm. But yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I just snorted into my microphone. I'm sure that'll show. I just snorted. See?
Oh,
we're dorks. I like it.
Snort. That's like, I don't know. I just friendships and connecting and all of it is great. And it's
women need other women.
Yes, we do. There was a study that they did that women need to get together with their friends, need to have a girlfriend night every 21 or 22 days for happiness.
That makes sense if you think of it from a tribal perspective.
Yes.
The good old red tent situation.
Yes, because they cycle together. Because we used to do that. Everyone would have their little powwow.
From a tribal perspective, women need to have contact with each other.
Yeah, because that would make sense.
Especially as they age.
Yeah, a 28-day cycle, and you would be with them for a handful of days.
But like the most supportive communities for women that you see, like out in the general, just in the world in general, like for instance, in Okinawa and some parts of Japan, all of these elderly women like band together.
Ooh.
So like if somebody goes to the hospital and they don't have enough money to cover what's going on, everybody has some input into that. Or they'll go over and they'll garden at her house while she's in the hospital together. They just support each other.
I love that.
Especially if they're a widow. Those kinds of things are going to be important.
Yeah.
So yeah. Italy's the same way. There's just this whole family Nona culture.
Yeah.
I posted something about this the other day because I loved it. Let's all like make that our goal.
Yeah.
To teach the younger generation, be a good Nona, teach them how to cook, talk to them about what your experiences were when you were younger, and surround yourself with other women in the community that you can communicate with because they have similar experiences.
What I would say that
it is more important than I really do believe it is more important than a male, than a romantic relationship in the long run.
In the long run, you know what? And they say that women, and I think that this might have something to do, because women tend to have healthier relationships with their female friends than I think men do with their male friends, because women are more likely to have those deeper conversations and really dig in deep. Not to say men can't.
Oh no, you know, I've run into this before. I've heard a lot of men make, not men, women make comments that they're like, oh, those men are so vulgar. I wonder what they are actually talking about when they go on their men's camping trips and when they go
I don't think they talk much.
If they do talk, I think it's about stuff they're interested in, be it motorcycles or fishing or, hey, did you hear about this on the news or that kind of stuff? I don't think they're talking crap in most cases about their relationships or their female significant others.
No.
I think we're the ones that get super vulgar and describe things to each other as females.
Yeah.
That the men would be like, ooh, what are you talking about? You told them about when we did this? And women are like, yeah, I really thought that was great.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
I think
you just shared that?
Yeah, men don't dive.
They don't share like
they
that.
They don't share.
Yeah.
They don't share that deeper side of things.
Or if there's a particularly spicy guy who, for instance, is cheating on multiple women or doing stuff like that. Well, no, the thing is those men might spout off, but I think the majority of the men that are around them don't appreciate those kinds of conversations.
You would hope.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
It's not what they want to talk about.
No. They want to talk about the things that they're interested in.
Yeah, they want to talk about things they're interested in
Yeah.
and feel some sort of connection with the guys. But
Yeah.
I don't think their all their emotions and all their experiences like women do.
No, but I think that's part of the
But I'm
problem.
going to keep doing it.
But I think that's part of the problem for them.
Yeah, probably.
Is that they're not.
They need a tribal setting.
They need that. They need that powwow. They need that connection.
Mhm.
They need that person where they can just
show emotion
and vomit the stuff that they're carrying around, because it does weigh them down.
And or find out from other men
if they're having the same experience.
If they're having the same experience. Yes. So many, I'm finding that out the older I get with women that I used to be scared to share things with. And it's like, no, all of us are pretty much going through similar stuff.
Absolutely. And I think that that's the biggest
We just
thing.
Don't tell each other.
No, I think we're getting better at that. I think as far as like the women before of like perimenopause and menopause and what like our mother's generations dealt with.
They didn't discuss any of this. They had no idea.
I feel like a lot of women didn't, like my girlfriends, when they've been having babies in the last however many years, they're just like, what is this? What's coming out of me? What's happening? Like, and more women are sharing like this gross, nasty part of pregnancy or this uncomfortable part of pregnancy, which before like everyone kind of just like hushed it. And I think it's happening now with the menopause and the period. Well, I don't think
it is.
We know it is because it's all over social.
Well, a lot of it stems from the boomer generation. For instance, my mom made it like her work on this earth to make sure that when I went into puberty, I knew everything that was going to happen to me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay. Like she was like very honest about body function, about all sorts of things. She was not overtly, but just really wanted me to feel confident about all of that stuff. My mother, when she started her period back in the early 1960s, did not know what was happening.
Oh.
She grew up in the South in a very, very religious home, and nobody had explained to her that happens. So at first she thought she was dying. Oh, God. And finally her mom did come in. Her mom said, oh, that's normal. It happens to all girls. Here's this. Bye. And then her older sister was able to explain some stuff to her that she had learned elsewhere. But the point is, with each successive generation, you're going to see a lot of that stuff corrected.
More transparency.
Where there's more transparency. My daughter is so much more transparent with her friends. I'm more transparent than my mom was with my daughter and that kind of stuff. So I do think it's improving.
I also think that, like, I know a lot of the millennial moms who had kids younger and maybe even some of the Gen X moms that had kids maybe later. I don't know. But because like growing up, we didn't let boys know about our period. We were embarrassed.
Oh yeah. You were terrified if, I remember I used to wear dark clothes on my period, and I'd always bring a sweatshirt just in case I had to like wrap a sweatshirt around my waist. And I remember that was always a girl's terror, that you're going to start your period if you were wearing white pants or something like that. That was like living in terror.
Yes.
And I do feel it's funny because a lot of the Gen Z and Gen A?
Yeah.
They're like
Gen Alpha.
They're like, oh, I started my period.
That sucks.
And like, I need to go change, because this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And the boys
don't care.
The boys are so much more comfortable about talking about it.
Yes. And supportive
about it.
And I do think that that's the generations of the moms and the dads.
That some moms told some sons too, hey, if you ever see this, like be supportive, be nice, give the girl your sweatshirt, don't make a big deal out of everything.
Yeah.
This is just natural for women.
Yes.
And that was not how it was in Gen X.
No,
there was a lot of stigma.
Even with my ex from my 20s, like any possibility of the idea of blood, he was like, nope.
Yeah.
Like period nope.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think my parents may have been a bit weird for their generation, because I remember, my dad going and getting tampons or pads or something.
That's fantastic.
But that probably has a lot to do with the area that you live in and how people are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the connections with women now have gotten so much better.
Oh yeah.
As far as the opening up and being supportive and being like, hey, this is what I'm going through.
I hope it happens with guys more too.
I really hope it does. I think that there's a forward movement on that from what I've seen on socials.
Guys need other guys.
They need a village. Yeah. They need their tribe too. Yeah. They need the support.
Rites of passage as well.
We've lost that.
Yeah, we don't have any rites of passage really.
None.
Unless, for instance, the spiritual group of women that I associate with now, that's really encouraged. Rites
Yeah.
of passage, for our daughters, that kind of thing. The men need to have that too.
Well,
And it needs to be done with sons as well.
Well, in older traditions,
Mhm.
there was always like a journey that a boy had to go through in order to become a man.
Mhm.
Like there was that huge
Yeah.
rite of passage, and
Women at least have that physical sign that they're moving into womanhood.
literally, yes.
Whereas men, it's a little bit harder to trace where it starts and where it stops.
Yeah. We've lost that.
Mhm.
I feel like.
Well, we just went off on a total tangent in a weird direction, but that's okay because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
But yeah, so I guess bringing it back
Bring it
around.
back.
As far as the relationships between women,
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, that's going to be your real support system in the future.
Yes. Yeah, regardless. And that there are some things where I think like partners just can't fully hold you in
Mhm.
because of the fact that they don't have those same experiences.
Mhm.
And sometimes it might be too much for the partner to carry if they can't fully understand it in the same way that.
If you ever listen, I think her name's Esther Perel. She's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But she talks about how your spouse or your significant other cannot be everything.
I think you're right. I think I've heard her talk on a pod.
Yeah, just very much so. You need to have different outlets for different things because that one person can't just be your end all be all everything.
No, that's too much.
The most healthy relationships have sexual attraction, but also division of labor,
friendship,
shared interests to some extent, shared character to some extent, and they're truly supportive partners, but don't depend on that other person for absolutely everything.
Yeah, there's just no way you can.
Yeah, and that's where your friends come in.
Yeah.
So one thing I am trying to learn lately, and I've spent the last couple of months really working on it, is trying to at least reach out to friends and let them know that I'm thinking about them or that I miss them, that kind of thing, even if we can't get together because everybody's schedules is crazy right now. Understand that, especially with me going back to school and all that fun stuff. Everybody's schedules are crazy. Everybody has things that are going on at work, things that are going on with family, things that are going on with kids, things that are going on work, school, you name it. So everybody has those excuses. Just try to be understanding and at least let them know that you understand why they would be annoyed.
Yeah.
That's kind of what okay, yeah. I understand why this is annoying, but I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you and
yeah,
we'll try to get together soon.
Yeah.
Or do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I do think that tribalism is the greatest need we have.
Yeah.
With women.
Well, and I think too, that whole idea of like, I know I've sent reels like back and forth with my Cali girls, and
a few friends, that's all we do is send memes back and forth lately.
Yeah, but that's like, okay, we're connecting, we're still doing this and everything. That there have been some that like I've either sent or they've sent to me of like maturing is realizing that it doesn't matter like if you're next to each other in your friendship, but like knowing that time and distance are not going to change it.
Yeah.
And that, you can just pick back up. And that's where it's like, those are the lifetime ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you're like, yes, we love this.
And don't feel guilt if as you get older, sometimes you're happy when plans get canceled.
Yeah. I have JOMO.
You're like, oh, good. I can like totally leave my fuzzy socks on and keep watching TV or reading a book.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, I do have JOMO more so than FOMO, like joy of missing out.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird how that starts happening.
I love my own company. I love sitting in my apartment, in this apartment, and just reading with my red light therapy light on.
3-hour baths, people.
Yeah, that's her go-to. Mine is sitting on my couch reading with my
that scene in Splash where Daryl Hannah's just soaking in the tub? That's me. That's me. I just hang out in the tub. I got like my drink, I got my phone, I got my glasses, I got my books.
I love it.
And I don't move and I just keep adding hot water and adding more hot water. Yeah, I have a problem.
that I would not
I
consider.
wonder
that
why
a
my skin's so jacked. It's because I'm sitting in the water for like 3 hours, but whatever.
I mean, is it filtered?
No.
Oh,
It's the bathtub. I don't have a filter on there. I know I can get one. Just haven't thought about it. With a ton of magnesium salt in there
and help neutralize some.
I don't know. A bunch of essential oils, and then I just chill. And I forget I'm up there sometimes, and
Yeah,
it's past my bedtime,
that's okay.
and I come crawling out of there. But anyway,
A little prune.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm already getting pruny. I don't need to make it worse. But anyway, so I guess we can wrap it up on that. Or
yeah, I mean, yeah. Tell us about your friendship situation, your female situations. It's like, what have you found over the years that really works for you? What have you realized maybe about yourself as far as how you show up in your friendships?
Have you like discovered situations where you look back now and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I caused that?
yeah.
Because I think like that's really something that's come with me as I've gotten older.
Yes.
Oh, you were totally acting like a crazy person. Like there's a reason for that particular friend breakup.
Yeah.
And I do think, by the way, not to add too much more, I think friend breakups sometimes hurt worse than
they can be devastating.
than relationship breakups. So just discuss.
Yeah, they can be devastating, or they can actually feel really good.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to think about it anymore, and you're like, oh, okay, I feel relieved. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely tell us what you guys think about friendships. If you've had any of those feelings before where you recognize some of your own bad behaviors in friendships or in them, how they parallel romantic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear about it all. But then also, what are some ideas you guys have for creating the tribal female community that we all need? And like I said before, I know somebody here, and at some point I'm probably going to drag her on the show, who's trying to create that kind of community here in Nashville as far as women of a spiritual like setting of beliefs. Not necessarily everybody. Not everybody's going to have the exact same beliefs, but just that need for female connection and for females to feel spiritually connected in general, to feel safe talking about the woo-woo stuff, the crystals, the astrology, all that kind of stuff. A safe place where they can talk about how truly amazing femininity is.
And we all probably got burned together in a past life because we're into all those things.
Hopefully not, because there's a lot of us now. So I don't know. I just
not in this life.
Not in this lifetime, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot more souls involved here now. So it does show you how things are changing.
Absolutely.
We're moving into that quote unquote age of Aquarius. Yes. People are going to discuss these things more openly and come up with a lot more ideas. Things will be less taboo. What it comes down to is I think we really just none of us truly understand or can comprehend the vastness of what's going on, how big this universe is, what other things and people and souls might be in this universe as well.
The
dimensions. Oh, we will at some point, you guys, talk about psychedelics and all that kind of stuff and all the newer amazing things that more and more normal people are starting to dabble in. So, okay, sorry, that once again turned into a long discourse at the end. But please let us know, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.